Hello friends, welcome once again to another lesson in this Transformers series. This is lesson 4, where we're continuing on building applications using Hugging Face. Okay, so once again, welcome back. So we previously explored what Hugging Face is and how to understand its models, looking at model cards, specification, and all that jazz, right? So now we're getting a bit more hands-on, so you're going to learn how to use Hugging Face in your own Python code. Don't worry, there's no deep math involved, just practical fun. Okay, so if you open up Google Colab, this is how we initially install our transformers. So of course first we need to install the transformers library, which is Hugging Face's main tool for using these language or large language models in Python. You just simply run !pip install transformers, and so once installed you'll now have access to all the functionality that is needed to work with these state-of-the-art language models. It's also recommended to install PyTorch, and you might also want to install some datasets library for working with public datasets. And once again, I don't know why the font has come out invisible, but let's just highlight so you can see. So it's essentially the same thing, !pip install, but now you just say torch. And for datasets, !pip install datasets, and that will go ahead and install them. A refresh of what a pipeline is. So another analogy for you, think of pipelines like kitchen appliances. You don't have to know how they all work inside, you just press a button and Hugging Face pipelines wrap everything up for you. Loading the model, to tokenizing input, running it, and giving you clean results. So let's try out our first example. So we're going to create a sentiment analysis model using pipelines. Alright, so all you need to do is use these few lines of code and we're going to create a sentiment analysis model. Alright, so if I come over to Google Colab, here we are. So as you can see, I've just installed transformers, I've also installed torch and datasets as well. Next we're just going to say from transformers import pipeline. We're going to create this variable, so we've called this variable classifier. We've made this equal to pipeline sentiment analysis, so the sentiment analysis pipeline. Alright, and then we want to print on screen this variable which is acting as the sentiment analysis pipeline. So we want to use this sentiment analysis model on this sentence here. So that's what this last print function is saying. So we want to perform sentiment analysis on this sentence that says, "This is the best tutorial ever." Alright, so if we now run this piece of code here, right, we can see a bunch of stuff is happening. So that's just to show the power of these pipelines, that it has so much information, so much different tools acting within it. Right, as you can see, it's installing some or distributing some packages from PyTorch here, version 3.2.0 for example, 3.2.0 for example. It's using some math here, so likely some NumPy there. It's also using the pandas toolkit, as you can see here, pandas, right, from the datasets. Alright, and so if we come to the bottom here, this is essentially our output. So it's labeled it as positive and it's given it a score out of 100%, and it said this is estimated as 99% positive, so it's given it a score of 0.99 and these bunch of numbers here. So 0.99 or 99% positive, and of course it is correct. It is a positive statement, for we said this is the best tutorial ever. Alright, perfect. So it's working just fine. Excellent. So of course there's many different pipeline tasks which we can do. We can use different models for the different tasks, for example. And so let's try out a different task, shall we? Let's get rid of this now. Clear selected outputs. And so here I have an example of a summarization model. So all we have is, again, all the same installs. From transformers we are importing again the pipeline. This, we can call this variable whatever we want. I can call this, for example, summarization or summary, but I've just called it as pipe. And I've said pipe is equal to this summarization pipeline. Okay, and the model that we're using is the Facebook bar large CNN. Okay, so if you come over to Hugging Face, this is a model here. If you want to use the same model, all you have to do is type in bar large CNN in this search box here. And of course, once again, to use the model, you can open it straight up in Google Colab, or just come over to this transformers section, and if you want to use the pipeline like I have, you just come ahead and copy that pipeline. Come back over into your Google Colab workspace and paste it in like so. Just like in the example above, we just want to print, have a print function, call our variable, and then we pass in the text that we want to be summarized. So I went over onto OpenAI's website and I found this article, what are tokens and how to count them. Okay, and I haven't highlighted the whole section, only just a small few paragraphs, just for the sake of this example. As you can see here, and so this is the text that essentially we want to summarize. Okay, so if I run this code, it will once again do its thing. Alright, so you can see a tick there, shows that it's done. And so you can see at the bottom here, we now have this label summary text, and so this is the summary text here. So it says, before the API processes a request, the input is broken down into tokens. These tokens are not cut up exactly where the words start or end. Tokens can include trailing spaces and even subwords. To get additional context on how tokens stack up, consider this Wayne Gretzky quote, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Okay, and it says contains 11 tokens. Okay, perfect. So that's not a bad summary of the text that we had above here.